Are we already started? Oh, I'm right on time to watch Taiwan live TV!
MJ here, and we got a little whiskey, a little scotch tonight, and some Bootsy barbecue sauce and mayonnaise mixed. A little Taiwan sausage here. Just want to say hi to everyone, and thanks so much for joining. We're doing a little bit of an experiment tonight. We're broadcasting directly. Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? All right, good to see you. We're broadcasting directly to Periscope, and we're also recording, so we're going to upload this later to YouTube. But let me show you what we got going here. Let me show you what we have for food tonight, and I was just using my second device just to check to make sure that everything is okay, and it is. And we're also recording the obviously with the chat box, you know, we're recording the comments for the YouTube video. Okay, let me do this. Let me switch. And what we're going to do is we're going to show, this is the deep fried sausage we got here. It's fantastic. I spent considerable time this afternoon filing down the clip for my wide angle lens because none of these apps utilize the 3 cameras that we have available. This, of course, is Bootsy barbecue sauce mayonnaise, and we are going to be dipping in this, and you're going to love it. It's fantastic. And so, yeah, the clip. Now, normally I'm a single malt scotch guy, but there are, of course, some really fine blends, and this is one. It's made by, yeah, I know, I hear you, man. It's especially if you're drinking. This is Teacher's Highland Cream, which is 75% Ardmore Distillery, because Ardmore owns Teacher's. So this is a big part of the Ardmore Distillery output, and man, oh man, is this good. A little bit of smoke, and very consistent. I love the nose. Very consistent. Okay, so let's try some of this sausage here. Yeah, we're gonna dip it in this Bootsy sauce, and there you go. Oh man, what an incredible combination. Those of you who have joined before, not now. Steinway, thanks for joining. We're not doing YouTube right now. I'm actually performing an experiment with latency and buffering and so forth. But because I'm using the Prism app, this entire broadcast is being recorded, and I will upload it to YouTube. So right now, I'm putting all my stuff in Periscope right now. So, comment? Oh, bien,谢谢。这边就好了，谢谢。So yeah, so this is pretty good, and this this barbecue sauce is Really nice. With the mayonnaise. So the boss is drunk. Came in tonight, he said he was drunk. Drank a whole bottle. So that's what you're hearing in the background. What I did was, the clip on my wide angle lens, the clip opens up and goes in the phone, right? It wouldn't quite go in deep enough for the lens to cover, the camera on the phone that I need in the middle. So I had to clamp it in a vise and get out my, okay, man, I will. Thanks. I appreciate it. It would be nice to see you and your family again. Thanks, Sean. Always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, it has been too long. Yeah, you're right about that. Thank you. Comments are instantaneous. This is great. So this may be a better way to broadcast directly to Periscope. We'll see over time if there's a lag. But the Streamlabs chat box is absolutely capturing comments right on time. So I'd like to thank our sponsor, ivideo.com.tw. They're providing our Wi-Fi box and our internet services tonight. It is a battery bank, and this thing lasts all day. And our companion website, TaiwanLive.tv. Now, I started a new YouTube channel brand tonight. No, I can't see hearts. I don't get that feedback. I get the immediate feedback of the comments, but not the hearts. Usually when I watch other people's broadcasts, I turn them off. I just turn off the comments. That's why. Anyway. But yeah. Good question, though. Started a new YouTube brand channel called Phoenix Media Forge. You won't be able to find it. It's brand new. I only have one video on there. It's a demonstration video I did for the X32 console. I'm going to be bringing all the media stuff under Phoenix Media Forge, and that includes MJK.Asia, my music site, and Taiwan Live TV and everything. It's all coming under that one blanket. But I'm still going to have the Taiwan Live TV, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter channels. The reason I'm doing Phoenix Media Forge is because I want to do the music stuff under there. I'm not here on Taiwan Live TV. I want to separate those things. Now, Bootsy barbecue sauce is going in production later this week or later this month, and their initial production run, I think they said it was 58,000 bottles, so it's going to be pretty good. And we're instantly going to make that available online, and you will hear me and some others announce it and broadcast it. You'll hear about it on Twitter. Of course, I'll be talking about it here. But there are some upcoming videos on how to cook with it. And Andreas, my friend, who's the beer master at the local brewery called Legend Brewery, he's agreed to host a live stream at his house. We're going to feature the Bootsy barbecue sauce and a cocktail sauce for shrimp. We're going to do Florida style shrimp boiling beer, and I think he's going to do some barbecue chicken. I don't know what he's going to do actually. I'm going to make some Bootsy Bloody Marys and the whole thing. So here we go. Fantastic. This is really, really great, and I like being able to use the app here, the Prism app, because it really, really makes a big difference. So I would like to say thank you to everyone, and please, if you get a chance, especially on YouTube, will you please subscribe to the channel. And I don't need the subscribers so much on Periscope as I need them on YouTube. I need YouTube subscribers. So yeah, there we go. Download failed. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Good to see you again, man. The download of that failed. That's pretty interesting. I wonder why that happened. I'm trying to put a sticker on. Because Prism comes with stickers. Like for example, well, didn't do it. That's bizarre. Oh well, I don't know why it's not working. But we do have text and we do have scribbling, which is great because the Periscope native app doesn't do that with Android, and they said that they were going to do that, So anyway, let's try this one because I like this one too, because I always like to say thank you to the followers, but I don't know what's going on. There you go. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much, guys. And please, there you go. Now it's working. Please subscribe, but not necessarily on Periscope. So Jerry, did you ask your wife to say that the last time that you were on? You said your wife's from Shanghai. It's funny because the boss and I were here talking about that. And even he knows about that. Steinway, that's a very good question. Hey, now, it's really good on barbecued meats. It's good on smoked meats and vegetables as a finishing sauce. Personally, I wouldn't. I take a lot of supplements. What can I say? I wouldn't put it on steak. Some people do. It's because for me personally, a perfectly grilled steak. I mean, I tell whenever I go to a restaurant, the only thing I want on my steak is the chef's fingerprints, and I put like very coarsely ground salt on it. Some people do like steak sauce. And part of the Bootsy formula, okay, cool. You remember what to ask her too, right? About it, just like, well, if she, okay, bring her over to the phone. I'll talk to her in Chinese for a second, and then you can say, yeah. So anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, Steinway, the deal with Bootsy is it does have like steak sauce as a component in the sauce, if you know what I mean. It has that tangy flavor. So yeah, but I prefer yes, and it's in Chinese we say 我不要, and ask her to say that in Shanghai language. See what she says. So it's pretty funny. So she's listening. Okay. 请你给你的老公讲，就是说我不要在上海话。There's a lot of those little things, like in Taiwanese, when you say like cheers, it sounds almost like $4. So sometimes I'll ask my Taiwanese friends in Chinese, can you say like $4 in English, and they'll go $4, and then it sounds like so. There's a story. I told the boss this the other day. When I was a young man, I worked in a Chinese restaurant. During the week, on the weekends, I played in a band. I came back Monday, and the guys had told me that while I was gone, a very beautiful waitress from Shanghai came, and all she knew was menu English. She knew how to say all the names of the foods in English, but she couldn't say anything else. Of course, she could speak Mandarin, so Ba Yao. If you say it like 我不要, it sounds very much like I love you. That's what it sounds like. And so anyway, and I never met this waitress. I came back on Monday, she was gone, because what happened was a customer was drunk. And he started grabbing her, and she didn't know English, and so she reverted to her native language, which is the Shanghai language, and she kept saying, 我不要, 我不要, and it was like, sounded like I love you, and he was going like, come on, baby, come on, all right, I love you too, and that was all it took, and she like left the next day. A lot of those things, though, I love those things in different languages, where one thing sounds like another, so. See, like, Ba Yao is like love Ba Yao. It's like, anyway. Did your wife actually say that? Did she say like, did it sound like I love you, you know? Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, see, the boss knows, he knows that too. 我刚刚告诉他们，就是这样子，对，因为一个客人的老婆是上海人，对，
真的啊？
对，现在他看得见了。So yeah, that was the thing. I missed it, and Taiwanese is a funny language, man.
那你没跟讲到地瓜，耶！
Here's a
西瓜嘞？西瓜甜。
Okay, if your wife's to listen, here's a joke. I got a couple of Taiwan jokes. Where you said, you know, digua is sweet potato. So digua ye, 我开心，叫什么？ digua ye, which means sweet potato leaves. It's really funny. Digua ye is.
你不要害死笑死我了，你很幽默。
digua ye is a dish. I'll tell you a Taiwanese joke. I'll tell it to you in English. Because running red lights here is just so rampant. Running red lights is just normal. So the guy runs a red light. There's a cop up ahead, and he pulls him over. Guy rolls down the window, and the cop said, "So, I guess you didn't see the red light, huh?" And the guy says, "No, I just didn't see you." So anyway, now the other way around, jokes work really well the other way around too. Because Stephen Wright tells a story about how he goes out and he's going down the road, and the cop stops him and he says, "Sir, the speed limit here is 35 miles an hour." And he says, "I wasn't going to be out that long." And that works pretty well. But so there's a joke, another joke in Chinese that I'll tell you now. In Chinese, you know, we use hand signals for counting, and this is 6. A lot of times we use this for 7. See, it's like an inverted 7. This is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said 6 in Chinese. So, and they also go like this for 3. There's a YouTube video. You have to look it up. It shows kids in school, and the problem on the board looks. Hang on. The problem on the board. Hang on. Come on, stop doing this. The problem on the board looks like this. The kid is he's got a problem, and it's 1 plus 2 equals, and he can't do it, and he's looking around, and his friend goes like this. So you see the kid, he's scribbling, and then he does this. He writes "okay" on the blackboard. It's really funny. So anyway, that was on there. So yeah, it is interesting. It is an interesting perspective. So with a 6, right? So here's the joke. You can tell in Chinese, but you can tell in English too, as long as you know what this is. So the guy goes to the night market, and he wants to order like a rice box, okay? And so the lady says, "How much is?" Hey Ken, how you doing? How you doing? Let me see. I gotta. Okay, he says, "Hey Dean, how you doing? Nice to see you on Periscope too." So the guy says, "Okay, I want a rice box. How much is it?" And she goes, "It's 60." He goes, "Okay, and if I want to add a chicken leg," she goes, "Okay, it's 30." Okay. Says, "Okay, 60 for the rice box, 30 for the chicken leg." 对. So he hands her 50. And she says, no, you're short." He goes, "No, it's 50 because you said it was 60 plus 30. And she says, "Yeah, but 50 is not enough." He goes, "Look, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. He says, "Yeah, it's 50. So that's a joke in Chinese. So nice having you with us, Dean. We are drinking some scotch here, and nice blended scotch teachers. This thing was on sale. It was $349 NT for a liter, and 349 NT is, well, let's see, it's like $10. Taiwan is a whiskey lover's paradise. I see routinely whiskeys in the store that I have only dreamed about, only read about, never seen, never even come close to seeing them in the United States. I buy like a Glendronach 12 that I have reviewed, before on my channel, and I sometimes go to the Cowboy Bar down in Kaohsiung and review whiskeys. But I pay $30 for it. So they really do, and it's a highly developed sense of humor too. So one of my followers bought the same bottle, and oh yeah, definitely. One of my followers bought the same bottle in the States, and it was $75. I paid $30 for it, but he said it is worth every penny. But yeah, so you see how the nice color, There's no age statement on it. It's probably 3-4 years in the cask. It's a blend. It's got a nice nose. If you are familiar with the Ardmore, no, this is Scotch. If you're familiar with the Ardmore distillery, 75% of the output goes into Teachers, and Teachers is really nice. Wow, that is fantastic. Now, I got this big bowl of Bootsy barbecue sauce, slathering it on. These deep fried sausages, my goodness. I can't say enough about it. So available in your store soon. Now, we are going to do an app. The app is a big portion of the business plan. What we're going to do is we're going to offer a VIP, basically, program. Call it a club if you want to. But you'll get free shipping, and every 3 months you'll get your supply automatically without thinking about it. It's a great way to do a purchase. I do some of my supplements like that with Dr. Sears, and the free shipping, is incredible, and you don't have to worry about it. They send you 3 months worth. When you get down to the last one, and it's there. The next group is there. This is funny because this says, I don't know if you can see it. It says TTL. There you go, TTL, which is the Taiwan tobacco and liquor monopoly company. I'm drinking like a definitely fine blended scotch in a glass that formerly has had probably not quite as sophisticated liquor in it. There's not one bit of bite or burn in this, and it goes so well. I want to do some sauces with that. We got a little drama going on over here, I think. Anyway, oh well. They're leaving, so as you know, in this neighborhood we get a fair amount of drama. Win runs a couple of karaoke rooms, and some of the karaoke rooms, well, you can't always depend on people to know how to act. Of course, in January 2018, when the Periscopers all came here, it was obviously fine. I wouldn't have associated with those people with any problems, but they have I don't know where they come from. I've lived in this neighborhood for about almost 14 years. Oh, really? Oh, well, thank you. 我觉得我是真的台湾人. So that's it. That's my feeling that I'm a Taiwanese. But they like Vietnamese is the fastest growing demographic in Taiwan. And a lot of people don't know this and the funny thing is they don't study husbands. They only study wives, China wives, Vietnam wives, Indonesian wives, Philippine wives. They study the wives, but they don't study the husbands. There are a lot of foreign husbands like me in Taiwan, but just the mother's side, 1 out of every 5 children born in Taiwan is born to a mother who was not born in Taiwan. It's amazing. And Vietnamese is the fastest growing demographic. This boss here tonight at this place, his wife's Vietnamese. One was Vietnamese. And all these girls going in and out are Vietnamese. And I live in this neighborhood for such a long time, and every time I come here, I see a new girl from Vietnam. I have no idea where they're coming from. They're flooding in here. It's amazing. I hear more Vietnamese in this neighborhood than I hear Chinese. A lot of Filipinos, but they're working. They're working in factories. Now, the least I can figure, I think most of these girls are in fake marriages, or they're in marriages of convenience. I mean, would you let your wife go be a karaoke girl? Not me. But the business owners are really smart. You guys remember a couple of months ago I did a scope from Dennis's bar on the other side of the highway, and that whole block is owned by Vietnamese. Unfortunately, they don't have a clue what to do with their property. It's going to waste. And just to underscore that point, Dennis built that beautiful bar. If you go back, in my streams a couple of months, Dennis built that beautiful bar, and he left, and he left the bar there. The owner wanted him to leave it there. The owner's son was going to open another bar, which is what, so that's what it's for. I went in there the other day. There's a Filipino guy in there, probably about my age. Couldn't speak Chinese. I spoke Chinese to him. He said, I'm Filipino. I said, okay. And Dennis's bar is now just covered in trays of food, Filipino food, which I've been to the Philippines, and I know what I'm talking about. The Filipino food in Taiwan is not very appetizing. I mean, truth is not an attack. Truth is not an insult. But nobody says, hey gang, let's go out for Filipino food. I did have some nice meals in Manila and Makati, but they were disproportionately expensive. Food in the Philippines, in the metropolitan area of Manila, was more expensive than it is here in Taiwan. But my neighborhood is super cheap. I love it when one of our friends from Taipei says, come on up, we're gonna go eat Thai food. And I'm like, so I go to like Thai Town or, whatever, the Siam Golden Buddha or something. I walk in and there's silk tapestries on the wall. I'm like, okay, this place is going to be ridiculous. And I go in there and a dish of kapao is like $3.50. So it's like, $10. And Wenwen's a dish of kapao with rice is 60 NT. That's $2. Next door at the Long Thai, a Thai place run by a Thai lady from Khon Kaen province, no rice, all meat, is 100 NT. So that's $3. The other side of the highway where I go, where you see me scoping where they're doing the karaoke, it's 150 NT. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It's $5. So yeah, the most expensive dishes in this neighborhood are like half or less of what they are in Taipei and even in Jubei around the high-speed rail. The area around the high-speed rail in Hsinchu, the Hsinchu station, was actually in Jubei, is astronomical because the real estate is like this. My wife and I were looking at some houses down there just to see what they had. And a couple of houses that we were looking at were 25, 28, and 29 million NT. 30 million NT is 1 million US dollars. So these houses are going for 750, 800, 900,000. And they're just, 4-story Chinese houses, flat roof, nothing special. But it's because they're kind of near the high-speed rail. But I think it's disproportionately up. This neighborhood, though, my wife's house, the house my wife bought, has doubled since we've lived here in value. But it's nothing like down in Jubei. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, the vegetable dishes here though are incredible. Wenwen's vegetable dishes are a little bit expensive, but the place next door in Long Thai, you can get what we call kong chin cai, which is a hollow vegetable. You can get golly cai, cabbage. Sorry, sometimes my brain doesn't work. Cabbage. You can get any of what we call chin cai, which means fresh vegetables, wok fried. They're 60 NT a piece. That's $2. So if you've got $10 in your pocket, you can have a really big lunch and alcohol because beer is cheap. Over here at the Jar Jar store, you can get 4 cans, 350 milliliter cans, right, regular beer cans, of Leo, which is a really fine Thai brand beer. They're 4 cans for 100 NT, which is $3. So if you've got, $10, you see where I'm going. So 300 NT, here's what you get. You get 4 beers, it's 100 NT. Then you get a dish of kapow, a big dish, another 100 NT. Then you could get a nice vegetable dish on the side. So you got 4 cans of beer, a nice big vegetable dish, and some Thai basil kapow, and a few coins left in your pocket. It's amazing. So naturally, when I travel some places, it can be difficult. I went to Bali. Bali food is amazing because not only is there Balinesian cuisine, there's also Indonesian cuisine, and there's, you know, Java, Sumatra, and Jakarta, and so different regional, you know, cuisines. And so we kept going back to this one restaurant and hotel in Bali. It was fantastic. We kept going back. We kept saying we're gonna stay here next time to the restaurant. The boss was really nice. I found some liquor, some rum from the Caribbean, and sometimes Caribbean rum has a butterscotch flavor, which I really like, which is why I like Old Monk from India, and why I like Tanduay and T5 from the Philippines. The Manila rums have that. So I bought a bottle called Roberts. It's from the Caribbean somewhere, I forget. And I brought it into the restaurant, and I asked the boss, I said, can I, you know, just here in Taiwan, it's no big deal. Here I'm sitting here at this place and I'm drinking whiskey, right? And he said, yeah, I'll have to charge you a corkage fee. I said, how much? He told me how many rupiah it was. I don't remember. It's cheap. And I said, well, sit down. By the way, this means come here. And I'll tell you another story about that in a minute. In the West, that's clear. In Asia, this means come here. So they sat down. Excuse me. Sorry. So I had the waitress bring some soda water. So I said, boss, I want you to try this. I mean, what is this? Some rum I never tried before. Tell me what you think. And I mean, I didn't do what I did because I wanted to get the result. But after he drank some, he goes, I'm just going to cut the corkage fee in half. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you very much. Now, about this and that. Sometimes you see people going like this, and it confuses Westerners. When my wife wants me, I'm in the store, she goes like this. Or she might just go like this. And let me see, there's no politically correct way that I can put this, but let me just say there's no way that I'm going to visit the United States and go like this to anybody, okay? I'm not going to do that. But I know what it means, at least from the Asian standpoint. So one time I was coming back from a trip abroad, and I was coming into Taiwan, and this is before the standard thing was, did I do a scope with sticky tofu? No. I was actually going to, because Dave in Osaka had an idea of doing a world food scope, and he asked me, you know, would I do some Taiwan foods, and I said, yeah, and I even checked it out with my wife, and had a really nice sticky tofu place picked out. But we didn't do that. If you would like for me to do it, it's in downtown Hukou. I could do it anytime. I could, sure. If you'd like a sticky tofu one, there's various brands of it. Okay. Yeah, not yet. There's various types of it. I mean, I've gone to like really fine upscale restaurants and got sticky tofu that was just out of great. It's just crazy. Well, I mean, you follow me, right? So I mean, if I go on, you'll get a notification, right? So I mean, I could do it anytime. I don't know. I have to ask. Yeah, the fried. I think the fried is better. I can do the fried. Okay, no problem. I can do that. Let's do this. Do you use Line, L-I-N-E, the messaging app from Naver that's popular in Korea and Japan and Taiwan? Okay. Because if you do, you can join our Line group and discuss that and be informed and so forth. But if you go to TaiwanLive.tv, here, let me just do this. Look, if you want to get a hold of me, here's what you do. Send a postcard. Hey, let me do this. I got to make this big screen. Go to TaiwanLive.tv. You can use the pull-down menu. Well, that's a very good question because Dave basically abandoned that idea after a while. And I'm sorry, only Periscope one. Oh, you mean Dave's idea about the world cuisines? Well, I think Dave was going to leave it up to the individual. You know, hey Coco, how you doing? Yeah, you're not late. You're always fashionably on time. Coco, I am broadcasting with Prism directly to YouTube, or excuse me, directly to Periscope only with the Prism app, so I can upload the recording later. I think your name is pronounced Fidesalo. I don't know. You'll have to ask him. But the reason I was asking you about the Line app is if you use Line, then we can invite you. So, yeah. I think JK ate it in Taiwan, but all those scopes are gone. That was the early days of Periscope. The 24 hours, they're all gone. So, but go to TaiwanLive.tv and you can either, directly enter the URL, late night Fides. Okay, did I say that right? Fides. Okay, late night dash show, or you can use the menu. And if you want to send us postcards, click on mailing labels for postcards, print it out. It's a PDF. But down the bottom is late night. Late night at TaiwanLive.tv is our email for the show. Yeah, I know, but you see, I'm trying to do some experiments, Coco, because lately when I've been streaming to Restream, okay, thank you, Fide. Lately when I have been going to, lately when I've been going through Restream with everything, everybody's telling me that, don't say sorry. Everybody's always telling me that I'm buffering and blah 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 on YouTube, and there's nothing I can do about it. But so far, nobody's told me I'm buffering at all on Periscope. And I know a lot of people prefer to watch me on YouTube than on Periscope, but I don't have the ability to upload to Periscope later. I could live stream to Periscope if I wanted to, like a recording, but no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. Okay, good. I'm going to take this one, tonight's broadcast, and I'm going to upload it to YouTube later. So, oh, I see. Okay. Well, we can do that. Dean has. I mean, he's stinky tofu phobic, man. I mean, he's really just, I mean, he even sees a sponge, laying by the sink. He's thinking, oh, that might be stinky tofu. I better not go near that. So, but yeah, we can do that. What I'll do is I'll ask my wife, when is she going to go to downtown Huko again? And although I'm not a big Twitter user, I do have a Taiwan Live TV Twitter account and Instagram account. And I could, if I remember to do it, I could post in advance when I'm going to be on. That would be okay. You could do that. And, so. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I draw the line at blood. I don't eat blood. But the braised pork, that stuff is all good. I was one time in an upscale restaurant and got their version of sticky tofu, and it was unbelievable. And I think I told you guys this story a long time ago of the Chinese cheese, right? When I was, I mentioned earlier that I used to play in a rock band on the weekends, and I worked in a Chinese restaurant. I lived in a house with the guys. That's how I learned conversational Chinese, was living in the house with these guys and working with them every day. Because when the chief cook's yelling at you for, go slice more carrots, you learn pretty quick what that means. So anyway, and to this day, I can still use a Chinese cleaver. Anyway. I put my wife and her sister and her whole family to shame when it comes to cutting vegetables, man. Nobody can cut vegetables as well as I can, as I did it professionally. Anyway, what happened was, we had a new chef came to the restaurant, and he was from some other part of China. I don't remember where, but I could tell the guy's a really good chef, but he wasn't the chief cook. He was like one of the under chefs, and he would sometimes make some small dishes for us to enjoy at dinner time, because you clean up the restaurant and you're all finished and we all eat together, and then we clean the last little bit up from our dinner and we go home. So I'm at the station where I'm cutting meats, I'm cutting vegetables, and I've got a big composite cutting board and my Chinese cleavers and everything, and I keep smelling something that stinks. And that's bad. And contrary to a lot of the stereotypes about Chinese restaurants, this was a Mandarin place. The owner was from Taiwan. It was like primo, super clean. And I kept thinking, this is bad. What I thought that maybe some juice or essence or something of some of the meats had dripped down, because there was a drawer underneath that I had like my sharpeners and my cleavers and other tools in there. And I thought maybe some juice from the meat had dripped down into the drawer and turned rancid, and I didn't know it. And I opened it, it was spotless, it's mirror clean, stainless steel. It's like, wow, what's going on? There's nothing in there. And I kept saying all night in Chinese, whoa, smells like choy, like really stinks. And this guy was laughing, a couple of guys were laughing at me and say, oh, how choy. They were laughing at him, saying, wow, it's really stinky. And then I realized, finally, I narrowed it down. It's coming from the rice cooker. The bottom shelf of my cutting station had a rice cooking pot, and out of the steam was this stench. And I was like, oh man, what's going on? I say, there's something like rotten or dead in there, and they're all laughing. So anyway, they didn't pay attention to me at all. They laughed. So at the end of the day, whatever, I'm cleaning up my station, I'm washing dishes, cleaning all my knives and cutting board and everything, and get everything all squared away. It's time to eat. And I noticed there's this really strange dish, and we sat in a round table with a lazy Susan in the middle, and I'm like, what is this? And I recognize it's some kind of fish. It's a big hunk of fish, and you can see the skin on it where it had been scaled and everything. And I realized, this is the famous rotten fish that my father always told me about from World War II. So, guess what? It's inching towards me. Every time the lazy Susan advances to the next person and they take a spoonful of it and put it in their dish and they're eating it, inches towards me. So this thing's going like this, right? And it's coming around closer and closer and closer. And finally, it arrived in front of me, and everybody went like this. They wanted to see what I was going to do. My chopsticks are going like this, And I grabbed a little hunk of it. I put it in my bowl. I pushed the lazy Susan so it would go to the next person. This is hard to describe and it sounds gross. But there are many foods that smell bad that taste great. For those of you who know anything about Pao Thai, or what we might call kimchi in English, kimchi will stink up the whole building. It will stink up your whole icebox and smell bad. But when it's in your bowl and it's in front of your face, it's wonderful. It's incredible. It's complex. It's spicy, salty, sweet, sour. It's very complex flavor. But from an arm's length away, it's like durian, right? In Thailand, you'll see signs everywhere for the durian fruit. No durian, no durian. You can't take it on the bus, you can't take it on the train. But why do people take it on the bus and take a train? Because they want to take it home, they want to eat it because it tastes good. It just smells bad. Okay, so this is the situation with this. Now the guy kept saying, he called it in English, he said, this is Chinese cheese. I'm like, okay. And I got to tell you, I held my breath and I put it in my mouth. And on the palate, I realized this. I looked at this guy. He's a master chef. I don't know how he controlled the flavors, but it was not I'm not trying to say. What's the word? It wasn't a quite down, way down. It wasn't an off flavor like mold or like that. Okay, so today you asked me that before, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I probably have, but I'm not sure. But it didn't have a putrefied. That's what I was looking for. It didn't have it had a putrefied smell, but the flavor was not of putrefaction. It was of fermentation, like cheese. There are certain cheeses that if you put them in front of your face, you're like, oh, I would never eat that. And you taste it, it explodes. It's amazing. It's like so depth and the width and breadth of the flavors. And that's how this Chinese cheese was. And basically, I waited, and the Lazy Susan came around again, and I got some more. And so I asked the guy, I said, can you make that again? And he made it again the next week. It wasn't long after that I moved away from that situation, and I ended up actually going to New England, and going on the road, and then eventually to New England. But yeah, that's the Chinese cheese story. It was amazing. So I'm going to have to ask, I know this is a stretch, can you spell that in Chinese? Because sometimes it's hard to know which kind of hua it is, and of course the jin is probably, could be, it depends how it's pronounced, and it's jin and not jim. So anyway, I'll try to look it up. Yeah, and you got my email, right? Late night at taiwanlive.tv, so we can definitely stay in contact. I'm going to go ahead and set up my U.S. phone number. For those of you who are in the United States, I will set up my 800, or it's actually 866 toll-free number, so you can call. And we may be able to actually do some call-in stuff with the other device. Let's see. But definitely, I would like for people to be able to call and leave a message, about things like this, show topics and requests. Eventually, though, I recognize that we may get so popular and so famous that we have to stop doing that. Yeah, right. So the boss is closing up. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay, I think I know what that is. Thank you. Thank you. Is that second word, that's traditional Chinese, right? Because the word for ham, that's, and the first word, yeah, okay. Yep, it's, okay. Thank you. This is the back camera. Boss is cleaning up. This is my, wide-angle lens on the back. Now the funny thing is I see a band on the left and a band on the right where it ends. There's like all of a sudden, there you go, and there's my finger, and then there's nothing. But when I open the front camera, everything go all the way out. So, oh, I guess it's okay. So, yeah. You know something, B-Day? I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I can find some of that. Sure, I can find some of that too. And one of the things that I really want to do, and this is part of our plan for the worldwide marketing of Bootsy and using live streaming and famous live streamers, is I want to do some of these foods and try them, and then try them with Bootsy sauce. So why don't we do this? Why don't I set up a stinky tofu live stream, and I'll bring the Bootsy sauce with me. Cured ham, yes, it definitely is a cured ham. It's really thinly sliced too, as I recall. So what I can do is I can do some sticky tofu, and then we can put some Bootsy on it and try some Bootsy sticky tofu. Because I love to. The funny thing is I don't go to restaurants that do fusion foods. It's strange. But I like to do fusion foods myself. Yeah, it's interesting because I see, there's a television show that I used to watch years ago that came from the States. I stopped watching U.S. TV a long time ago, but it was these guys that would go around and rescue restaurants that were in trouble. And there's a Thai restaurant that was in trouble, and they had these guys from New York City. They came in, and they just made up dishes. Yeah, we'll take some of this and put Thai spices, and they made them up. They made these dishes up. They don't exist, and they put them on the menu and call them Thai food. So, Bootsyized tag stinky stuff. Yeah, I can definitely do some hashtags for that. So, okay, you mean Bootsify that. Well, one of the marketing things that I came up with was that there's somebody eating some food that's kind of bland, and then out of the corner somebody says, hey, put some Bootsy on it, and then the Bootsy sauce comes in from the side and goes like this, and then the arm goes away, and then all of a sudden. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, we could definitely do that with Bootsy barbecue sauce, and on the ham too. That would be really cool. All right. And here we go. We got time for one more whiskey, and I'll make it a small one. So it's not. There you go. Now, one thing that I do have, and I know that I do have, because I am a former national talk show host from the United States. Back when I was in my late 30s, I had a talk show on the Talk America Radio Network. I know how to talk to people. I know how to connect with people. I know how to, interview people and so forth. And so, when you look at my numbers, and this is what people really should be looking at, because with any Periscope broadcast, you can press the stats and you can look at the stats. I have high retention. You look at these, I don't know, the $20 private kind of women that come on Periscope, and they're doing they're trying to arouse the interest of men, and they'll get 6,000, 8,000, 15,000 views, and you look at the average view and it's less than 30 seconds. And so I might have 50 viewers, but you look at my stats, I got people watching me for 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a time. That's what you want. That's what you can go to the bank on. So I have been investigating. I'm not able to do it now. I got too many things going on. There's so much I want to do. But Bootsy is going to develop and implement our own live streaming network, so we're not dependent on the so-called utilities, on the other platforms. And basically what we ultimately would like to do is just have you go to the website and watch there and comment all you want right on the website. That's probably the best way to do it. But we may enable that through the Bootsy app too. The Bootsy app is going to be where you can download the latest music, and it's Bootsy artists. And Danny and I have been in the record business since, I've been in the record business all my life, but he and I have known each other since '86. We've done a lot of albums together, a lot of sessions, and we procure unknown artists, people who are absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to tell you, as a recording engineer, as a record producer in Boston, I've probably done 400, 500 mixes. I've worked with hundreds of bands in Boston. And, for every one rock star that, quote unquote, made it, I know 10 other people that are better and didn't. They didn't have the right connections, they didn't have the right family, they didn't have the right lawyer, didn't have enough money, whatever. I can tell you stories like from the book The Hitmen. I know some of those people, especially this one attorney. And I'm not going to tell the story now, but I want to tell the story of the attorney that tried to jack me up for $2,500, and this is like in 1999. For nothing. It's crazy. It's a crazy business. And so brilliantly, what Danny has done is his business plan is put together music and food, because that's what you do. You have a barbecue, you got music. If you sit around with music, you want food. So they go together. It's a marriage, and they're designed, to go together. And so the Bootsy app is going to give you access to a lot of these artists that you've never heard of but are fantastic. And we're going to be doing the production. I'm going to be doing a lot of the mixing here in my studio here in Taiwan, and a lot of the recording in the studio in Boston. So it's going to be interesting. It's really, really going to be interesting. There's a lot of stuff that we're looking forward to. So it's a good thing that I'm only 63 and not 83, because I might be too tired. But yeah. I'm just going to straighten this out a little bit. This line here, anyways, I left it the other way for such a long time, but thanks so much, you guys, for joining. I really appreciate it. We've got to get out of here. Boss is closing up. It's 1:45 local time. I had to come on a little later because, the United States shifted their time now. But you guys got to stop. By the way, Florida, I think, is on permanent daylight savings time. That's not a bad idea. But you guys take care. And when I'm done with this broadcast, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. You won't be able to comment live on it, obviously, but you can comment on it later all you want, and it will be the same resolution that you saw here tonight. So thanks so much for joining. And please follow us on YouTube. And please look for Phoenix Media Forge. And there's actually a website, phoenixmediaforge.com. That's my studio. And so if you need an older, experienced mixing engineer that came up in the 80s to mix your record so it sounds like a hit, I'm your guy. You guys take care. Thanks so much. Thanks, Coco. Thanks, Dean. D-Day. And everyone else who joined. And I appreciate you so much. Appreciate it so much. And Jerry and I don't know how to say anything else in Shanghai, but anyway, so I'll just say 再见晚安, and your wife will understand that too. So thanks so much, you guys. Take care. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Taiwan Live TV. MJ Klein here, signing out. Going to say 再见晚安 from Taiwan. Bye bye.